You're listening to Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. Our show provides listeners with an insider perspective of Texas A&M athletics and its greatest supporters. This podcast will bring you exclusive interviews with coaches, athletes, donors, and the dedicated staff of Aggie Athletics and the 12th Man Foundation. You ready? Let's dive into today's episode. Howdy, and welcome back to another episode of Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. This is your host, Ivy Robinson, and today I'm sitting in studio with Texas A&M softball pitcher, Emiley Kennedy. Emiley, thank you for being here today and being a guest on the show.
Yes, of course.
Emiley, I hear you have a nickname. Isn't it Lefty?
Does
Coach Ford call you Lefty?
She does, yes.
Because there's two Emilys on the team, right?
Is.
So that makes sense. Did she give you that nickname, or is that something you've been called for a while?
She gave it to me, actually. And now when she introduces me to people, she's like, this is Lefty. My real name isn't my real name anymore.
Disregarding your name is actually Emiley. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Fun nickname. So Emiley, to start, can you tell our listeners where you're from, where you went to high school, and maybe tell us about your family?
I'm from the Woodlands, Texas. I went to Lake Creek High School for 2 years. I was second graduating class from my high school, so it was fairly new. Mm-hmm. I moved schools because my dad got the head coaching job at Lake Creek High School, so he's a football coach there. My mom is a preschool teacher in the same district. She loves the littles. My sister's a mechanical engineer, and my brother is a Houston firefighter.
Okay, so your dad is a high school football coach. Mm-hmm. When did you first start playing sports, and did he influence your decision to start playing sports?
I started when I was really young. I played almost every sport. I was the little kid in YMCA that played volleyball, played soccer. I was really good at soccer, actually. I didn't want to play softball when I first started.
Really?
My mom played softball in high school, and she's like, you got to try it. And now I'm still playing it. So it was just like a family thing. My sister played basketball. Mm-hmm. My brother played football, so it just ran in the family.
Why do you think you didn't want to play softball at first?
I don't know. I didn't really know what it was at first because
did you just like other
I wasn't
sports
around
better?
It. Yeah, I wasn't really around it. I also had my gymnast era, and plus I'm not a really dirt girl, so I was not a fan.
Okay, and gymnast too, very athletic family. It sounds like. Tell me about your high school experiences. Obviously, you played softball in high school. Did you do anything else outside of softball?
My freshman year, I went to the Woodlands. I played volleyball and softball. And then my sophomore year, I played volleyball at Lake Creek, and I was on varsity. So I did a little bit of everything.
Did you do club in both sports?
Because softball club's in the summer, and so was volleyball, so I had to pick one, which is kind of why I stopped playing volleyball in high school, because I would come back in the fall, and I'd be behind, take all season to catch up. So I was like, I'm just going to stick to what I'm going to school for.
Yeah. When did you start pitching specifically?
When I was 12, which is a little late for our sport, yeah.
Did you pick it up pretty quick?
Yes. I actually started pitching because I didn't make the all-star team for my town. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to become a pitcher. They got to put me on the team next year. That's exactly what I did.
There you go. Yeah, you were determined. Good for you. In doing some research, I saw you were named the 2021 Montgomery County Player of the Year. How did it feel to achieve that accolade in high school?
That was my senior year. That was a really good year. We were undefeated going into fifth round of playoffs. I really didn't even realize my stat line until I went back and watched my senior year. I went into my final last 2 games with a 0 ERA, so I was like, that was pretty good.
Wow.
But I was just enjoying my last year with some of the girls that I'm still best friends with to today.
Who do you think really influenced your development as a softball player when you were young, going on into junior high school? Who shaped the type of player and really poured into you as a young athlete?
I had a coach when I first started playing softball in league ball. His name is Chris Ortiz. He was the first one to be like, you're going to make a name for yourself one day. You're going to be D1, All-American, all those things. And now that everything that he said such a long time ago is coming true, it's kind of like
full circle. He's obviously saw something in you.
And little me, scrawny 6 foot 12-year-old self.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's really, really neat. What do you love about the game of softball? Why are you passionate about it?
I wanted to go to A&M and be a part of this program and play softball because, I look up to Megan Gibson. I look up to Amanda Scarborough. Like, I want to be that person for the younger generation and change the name of Aggie Softball. And I think we're doing that year by year. And it's good to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's exciting to see where the program is and the success y'all had last year and just building upon that for this season. Truly an exciting time for Texas A&M softball. Do you remember, you said you looked up to Aggie former softball players, but do you remember the moment maybe when you decided that you wanted to pursue softball in college? Was that always a goal, or did you come to any camps?
I did, actually. I committed to go to school here my freshman year of high school, so I was going through the recruiting process really early. My first A&M camp, I think I was in the 7th grade, and I absolutely hated it. Like, it was cold, windy, and I was like, I don't like this place. And then I came back a year later, and I was like, I actually do like this place. Like, it's not far from home, which was a big deal for me. My parents come to every single game, and I'm a business major, so I was like, you can't beat Mays. It's just like a place I need to be. And then I committed about half a year later.
That's awesome. Tell me about Mays and what's your major? What are you studying? And why did you choose business?
I wanted to be an accounting major when I came in. So I started in accounting, and then I ended up talking to some of our donors, and they're like, maybe you should go to law school. So, okay, so I changed my major to pre-law. So I'm graduating with an undergrad in pre-law management and a minor in sports management.
Good for you. How do you balance the demands of being both an athlete and a student?
It's tough, I'll give it that. But I think I've always been good at multitasking, and task at hand has got to get done. And I never procrastinate. Like, it stresses me out.
It sounds like you have a very analytical mind. Obviously, that's why you wanted to pursue accounting and the pre-law. That's incredible. How do you think your analytical mindset in the classroom translates to your approach in softball?
Coach Ford will say I'm very data-driven. So, like, tell me how it is, show me how to do it, what it needs to look like, and then I'll just repeat it. I don't want you to tell me, like, how it should feel, like, what it should look like, and I'll do it. And that's one thing she had to learn really quick, is that I'm different. Yeah. I'm a coach's kid by heart. Like, I know, like, the ins and outs. Like, tell me like it is. Like, if eyeball's not working correctly, tell me right now.
Data-driven. I like it. Do you, like, study your performance analytics after every single game? Like, do you obsess over that?
I'm very film crazy. I'm not allowed to watch film without Coach Ford now, because I will watch it 9 times before the next morning. So.
Really? What are some of the conversations y'all have during film?
She usually just, like, asks how I felt and then what she saw, and then she's just like, okay, we're going to watch it. And, like, pitches that didn't go my way, she's like, okay, that could have been a strike if it was a ball over. Like, if it was a ball higher, she wouldn't have hit it. We just break down, like, each pitch of, like, what happened.
Staying on the note of just being able to be a student athlete, pursue a great degree here, and also play the sport that you love, are there any student athlete resources you've been able to utilize here at Texas A&M that you feel like have really benefited your time and your student athlete experience?
We get tutors if we ask for them, which I've used. I think I've had a tutor every year, not just because, like, I need it in the course, but, like, help me, like, study for exams, like, make study guides, just someone outside of, like, myself to be like, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what isn't going to be on the exam. Like, sit down and study this. That's really been helpful academically.
I'm sure that's super helpful during season 2 to have that resource to help you stay on track and help you just be organized and give you reminders and things like that. And the tutors, yeah, for sure. We're currently, sitting in the Adam Season Academic and Wellness Center and in the NIL podcast studio room. What is your favorite part about this facility, Emily? And do you come here to study often?
I come in here and I study because it gets me out of my house. It gets me, like, in a stable environment, no distractions. And we go to the Clark Nutrition Center, which is right down the hall, like, almost every day. We have to go to team dinners every night after practice. So it's just a good, like, bonding place for our team.
That's cool. Y'all do team dinners every night?
Monday through Thursday. It's usually here just because it's provided to us, and the meals are always really good. So we're just like, it's a good common, and we get to eat with other athletes and get to know our fellow people that are in sports.
Yeah. What's your favorite meal at the Clark Nutrition Center?
I love prime rib night. Prime rib, mashed potatoes, asparagus is, like, my go-to.
Oh, that does sound so good. I'm all about some prime rib, or, like, if somebody wants to go to dinner, I'm like, okay, we're going to a steakhouse. Like,
100%.
Emily, many people that are listening to this episode are 12 Man Foundation donors and season ticket holders who loyally support our Aggie student athletes, and they want to give back and want to contribute in that way. So athletes like yourself have access to elite facilities and world-class resources. So what is your message of gratitude to those listeners who maybe donate on an annual basis, or maybe they made a major contribution to help fund a facility? What's your message to them?
Thank you. Like, we wouldn't be where we are today without the support of our fan base. Like, the 12th Man is a part of Aggieland, and it's why A&M is what A&M is, and that's why I like to wear A&M on my jersey, just represent my team, myself, and the fans around us.
Mm-hmm. You're also a 12 Man Foundation 1922 Fund scholarship recipient. When you found out you were going to receive a scholarship to be able to come here to Texas A&M and play the sport you love while getting that business degree, what did that mean to you?
I don't think it sunk in at first. My little freshman self was like, I just committed to a 4-year school. I got a scholarship. My dream is coming true. I get to live out my childhood dream. Is surreal. To this day, I'm still extremely thankful.
This is a question unrelated to softball, but do you have any hobbies or things you like to do outside of the game of softball?
I love to color.
Color? Oh, yes. Okay, yes. You have those adult coloring books? Yes. Okay.
It's a good stress relief for me. I used to write everything. I still do a lot of writing.
Yeah.
But when I get stressed in games or after practice or a long day, I'll just color in a coloring book, and it relaxes me for the next day.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Did you start that recently, or is it something you've always done?
I started in high school.
Yeah.
So
I enjoy painting. Now, I will have to say I don't get to do it as often as I would like to, but I used to paint a lot when I was younger. And there's something so therapeutic about just doing an activity where you really don't have to think a lot, and it just kind of releases those creative thoughts, and creative emotions. But
yeah.
Emily, what do you think has been your most proud moment here at Texas A&M?
I would say Super Regional Series last year at Texas was probably the most whirlwind experience I've ever been in. I don't know how I survived day 3 of that weekend. I think I was on pitch 400 and it was 100 degrees outside. But I was give me the ball. I don't care. I might die after this, but give me the ball. Let's go. And it just showed how much I can do and put my team on my back and let's go.
And what an awesome run y'all had last year. I mean, just incredible success, and congrats to y'all. I know y'all are excited to,
yes,
like I said earlier, build upon that for this 2025 season. You mentioned Coach Ford, and it sounds like y'all have a really unique relationship. Can you describe the environment that Coach Ford has established in the Aggie Softball program, and what specifically do you enjoy most about learning from her and being able to play under her leadership?
We call her Mama Ford sometimes. She's our mom away from home. She's the hard coach that you need, but we'll support you. And she's growing people, not just athletes. So she's preparing us for the outside world. And me and her can have any competition. We have an open book. She'll ask me about my day. She knows me to the point where I'll walk into the field and she's like, "You're having a bad day," and I don't even say anything. And I was yeah.
That's when you've spent a lot of time around someone and that you've developed that strong relationship with someone when they just immediately know it.
Yes, she can read me like a book.
Yeah, that's neat. Are there any mottos that she reinforces to y'all as student athletes and on the softball program? Do y'all have a motto that y'all live by?
It's just give it all you can, 100%. We say set the standard because we know what we need to do day in and day out. And there is no day that no matter what you're doing or what you had to do earlier or you're having a tough day, the standard's the standard. And when you show up to Davis, that's what we expect.
Are there any other staff members, coaches that have really pushed you to become an even better version of yourself?
Harger likes to make fun of me sometimes. He's a hitting coach. He's all hitter. So, when we scrimmage each other, Coach Ford and Harger are going at it. The pitchers are right, the hitters are right. And he just pushes us to be, more confident in ourselves.
Emily, I know you made history as the first lefty All-American pitcher for A&M in 41 years. What did that milestone mean to you when you accomplished that?
I didn't really know that was a thing. I do know the last lefty All-American, and I remember her. She was really good. But I wasn't really, worried about the history. It's I wear my jersey number because of Megan Gibson. She was a 2-time All-American in jersey number 11. That's what my goal this year is, to graduate with that same honor. But being the first lefty pitcher just makes it, like, lefties run the world, and I'll stand on that, and Coach Ford will too.
What do you attribute your success to?
I've always had people push me and be like, you can do better. You can, like, I used to just be like a hard thrower. I've always thrown hard, so I just was like, okay, I'm going to blow up by you. And then I got to school, college, and I was like, I can't do that anymore. And I had to learn how to move the ball, change speeds, and Coach Ford has really helped me with that. And she just sat me down and was like, you need to work on your mental game. You need to be unwavering on the mound. Like, no one can affect you. Just, like, be, like, stone cold, basically. And that is what I think I was so successful last year, was, like, no matter what was going on, I'm still going to throw the next pitch where I need to throw it.
I have to admit, the mental aspect of pitching is so fascinating to me, and it's just amazing to me what softball pitchers, baseball pitchers, like, what y'all can accomplish on the mound, and how y'all are so steadfast and unwavering despite the environment, despite what might be going on. How do you lock in and block out distractions, whether it may be distractions at the field or maybe something that happened earlier during your day? What did Coach Ford kind of teach you in terms of being mentally tough?
Last year, I had started implementing, like, I would sit down with my headphones in, like, a quiet room and just, like, 15 minutes of just me, myself, and what I have to do in the next couple of hours. And when I get on the mound between the white lines, it's just me and my catcher. And I think my brain is so wired to where, like, task at hand, get it done, that has made me really successful.
Yeah. So just really focusing, kind of visualizing, like, do you, like, picture yourself throwing a strike?
Not really. I always picture myself winning the game, like doing whatever it takes to win the game. Because like sometimes games are ugly, and I learned that last year. Like we could be losing 5-0 and we still win. And my younger self would not have understood that you can start horribly and still be successful. So I was like, okay, just whatever happens, just keep punching.
Yeah, just finish and don't give up, right? Yeah. What's been your most favorite game, series, moment throughout your Aggie softball career?
I would say South Carolina at home last year, our first home SEC series, first sweep. It was huge for us. Everyone did what they needed to. Like, our pitching staff was on point, and the team as a whole, that was the first, like, oh, we're going to be pretty good. Because South Carolina was really good last year, and so it was first weekend, and we were like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, I'd set the standard right there, yeah. How would you describe the culture of the Aggie softball team this year? What is the team like? You know, I know y'all have some transfers that came in. How would you describe the girls and your teammates?
We're like one happy family, dysfunctional family. We're so close this year that, like, we went through first week back from school, and it's not a fun week. You could push to the breaking point. It was really cold, but, like, we bonded closer as teammates. And, like, we learned, like, some people can be pushed. Some people need a hug and support. So it just showed us that, like, what each person needs, and now we're so much closer because of it.
What are your goals for this season? Do you have any personal goals for you individually? And then what do you want to see the team achieve this season?
Me and my dad sit down every year, and we write down 3 goals. So I wrote down All-American again, but first team, not second team, National Player of the Year, and then SEC Pitcher of the Year. Just shoot for the ceiling, and then just be steady in, like, my work and my consistency, and know that if I outwork everybody, then I'll be successful.
You said you wrote those down with your dad.
Yeah, we sit down the day before I come back from Christmas break, and I write them down, and he texts them to a picture of them to me, like, every once in a couple of weeks, and he's just like, don't forget, and, like, keep working.
I love that. What a great way to just encourage and remind. How would you describe, you know, your parents, and what have they instilled in you that you still depend on and rely on to this day?
I would say my dad is, like, my best friend. He's like a big teddy bear. Everyone's scared of him, but he's, like, always been the support parent where you can tell me, like, the reality. Because, like, I'm a little crazy in my head, so, like, I think some things happen and they don't. So he's always been like, okay, yes, that happened, but, like, you're being dramatic. Like, it wasn't that bad. He's a lot like Coach Ford. Coach Ford and him are, like, best friends. He's just, like, my biggest supporter, and he's just like, okay, this is what you need to do. Don't freak out. It's okay.
Let's go back to Davis Diamond. Just a beautiful stadium, right? It's got great features and just the amenities that stadium has for the Aggie softball program, what's your favorite part about Davis Diamond?
The ability of like our fans can sit like right by our dugouts. Like Monty and Becky Davis sit right in the dugout. I give them a pregame hug before like every home game, so it's just cool to like be able to like be that close to our support system and like feel like they're a part of the team and in the dugout with us.
If Monty and Becky Davis are listening to this podcast episode right now, what would you say to them?
That I love them and they know that. And I met them day one my freshman year, and we had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and they're like, well, sad to see you leave, but we know you're going to be successful in life. So
that's so great. For those listening who don't know, Becky and Monty Davis contributed a lead gift for the construction of Davis Diamond, and we are so thankful for their generous contribution because Davis Diamond is the premier stadium in all of college softball, and it's phenomenal to see that type of support. And I feel like that just echoes across all, 12 Man Foundation donors and how they want all of our athletes and all the programs to succeed and have the best of the best. So thank you to the Davises, and thank you to all 12 Man Foundation donors and season ticket holders as well. What is your favorite tradition at Davis Diamond, and like tradition in terms of like game day, like the environment? What do you enjoy most that Aggie softball fans do on game days?
I have a couple. I would say the bubbles when we score, which we kind of stole from baseball, but it's okay.
That's okay.
It's a bat and ball sport. They're twins.
That's right.
And then I would say, like, before the third out in the seventh inning, the stands stand up and they start clapping. Which, I mean, people say I'm a little crazy for liking it because it's really distracting because it gets loud, but I love it. It's just like, okay, it encourages me to get the last out. Like, don't mess up, basically.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. Do you have any routines you do before you take the mound, or any like rituals you have to go through or walk through in your mind before you start pitching?
I always just take a deep breath. I always take 2 deep breaths before I get on the mound and before I start my motion. It just like calms my brain, slows me down, and it's like, okay. First breath is like, okay, here's the pitch. Second breath is like, okay, throw it. So it's just a good like reset.
Emily, you mentioned earlier that you looked up to Amanda Scarborough, former softball student athlete at Texas A&M. What would be your encouragement to young softball players who are aspiring to come and play the sport in college? What's your message to them on how to stay positive and how to really work hard to achieve that goal?
I always say that, and know that you love the game. And like, if you don't know that you love the game, take some time away from it. Like a week away, 2 weeks away won't hurt you. And just realize, can you live your life without softball? I got to the point in my life where I don't know what I would do if I didn't play softball. And I think that's when I'm having a tough day. I'm like, okay, I love what I'm doing. I'm struggling today, but this is what I want to do with my life. And so I always want to tell like the little kids, just enjoy it. Like, it doesn't define you as like a person. You just love it, and it's just a game at the end of the day.
Yeah. Have you had any opportunities like here at Texas A&M to kind of be a role model and a light and influence to younger generations, like maybe through community service or?
I run into all the little softballers at camp when we have camps, and like, oh my God, I love you. And there's some girls that like my mom teaches that like are in her school that like we're Emily's biggest fans. My mom sent me a letter today from a girl that was in her class, and it was like, I heard you were preseason All-American. Like, I'm excited to watch you. I'm your biggest fan. And I was like, that's why I do it.
To know that you are being a role model for the kid, and that you were that little kid one day looking up to others, and now you're getting to do that very thing. That's awesome. So to wrap up this episode today, Emily, what makes you proud to be an Aggie and represent this university on the softball field?
I would say the traditions and just the atmosphere of the entire university. Like, everyone knows Aggies are different. Like, I remember when I was getting recruited and I'd walk through the airport with my Aggie shirt on, they're like, Aggie fan, like, what class are you? And I'm like, I'm in the 8th grade. But now that I have my Aggie ring, I'm like class of 25. I graduate in May. Like, it's something I'm proud to have. And an Aggie ring is forever, and an Aggie isn't always an Aggie, and Aggies support Aggies. And I'm excited to see like the support system outside of this university into like the real world, and like see how that goes.
And what are your future goals beyond your time at Texas A&M?
I plan to play internationally next year, hopefully. And then my dream is Los Angeles Olympics in 2028 with the USA team and
It's awesome.
become an Olympian and earn a medal. And hopefully in my career there, I don't plan on playing for too long, but I do want to make it at least to the 28 Olympics.
Well, we will all be watching for you in the 28 Olympics for sure, and just feel like you're going to achieve great things in this life. Emiley Kennedy on Answering the Call podcast. Emiley, thank you again for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Answering the Call, the official podcast of the 12th Man Foundation. A special shout out to our incredible podcast producer, Megan Hoffman, to 12th Man Productions and Texas A&M Athletics NIL Department. We also extend our heartfelt gratitude to every donor and season ticket holder for always answering the call through loyal support of Texas A&M Athletics and our student athletes. We will be back soon with more content. Thanks, and gig 'em.